Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know. We're here today with my guy Vengeful, man. Vengeful Shadows. He has his own channel, man. We're going to shout it out in just a moment. That is my guy, man. So before we actually get started with the first card, welcome in, welcome back, Vengeful. It's been too long. You know, a couple of words of advice for the community. Welcome in, brother.
Hey, I super appreciate being on the Fresh Off the Press podcast, and honestly, I'm just super excited, and thank you again for having me on, and Happy New Year to everyone and all the watchers out there, because honestly, without you guys, we can't be doing this, and we're just super hyped to be checking out all of the, cards that are shooting up in price, as well as the ones that are going to be going up in price in the near future, and the ban list, so, pretty exciting.
There we go, man. So today we're going to be talking about ban list implications. The possibility of some of these cards being unlocked to 3 or semi-limited or limited to 1 or maybe even banned. So, get the discussions going in the comment section down below. So we'll start off with Lightning Storm. Again, quarter century secret rare. We can see this card used to be 19 bones, holding the high teens, under 20s, and we see it spike up. No one's paying attention to this card right now. No one's looking at Lightning Storm right now. Everyone's focused on Stampede and the new reprints and loads and Blue Eyes Primites and Yugioh and all this. But again, don't forget how broken this card is. And yes, it's cycled in and out of past formats. But right now we can see the card going from 1920s, it says 24s, but really 15 listings only at around 28 bones, a couple of one-ofs, and we're at 30s, guys. 2 pages only. We've always been saying on this channel, Lightning Storms are too cheap. Starlights were like 69, 65, 70 bones, forever too cheap. And this one was 1920 bones forever as well as a quarter century. Don't forget, you do have other versions that I will bring up in just a short moment. But before, I want your take on this one. Do we see this unlocked to 3? Is this banlist speculation? Or maybe is it, dumped down to 1? What do you think on Lightning Storm?
I think the dip down to 19 was a lot to do with the detonator combo with the Yugioh, because a lot of them were protecting them from monster destruction and everything like that from the card effects. Yes. So with the Yugioh slowly cycling out for the Blue Eyes, we're actually seeing the rotation of side decks, and Lightning Storm is being snuck into the side deck, and I think that's a card we actually talked about with the How to Beat Blue Eyes. And a lot of that is because you get a twofer out of cards like Lightning Storm. Because if you're actually opting into wiping out their back row and you hit the True Light will wipe out their monsters as well. So you'll actually be able to do a full board wipe with the well-timed Lightning Storm. So that's why I think right now we're seeing the price. It looks like it's doubling from what you're talking about, or at least going up a nice little 50. I guess if it was at 20 and going up to 30, it's, going up to 10. So it's, half that. But honestly, still very good numbers, and we could see that go higher because you were saying there's only 2 pages of that. So yeah, this is definitely a nice card to be starting off with, like, for sure.
Yeah, as we can see, I mean, this card used to be 34s over almost a year ago, and now is coming back up to 30s essentially, guys. So yeah, you definitely want to make those considerations. And don't forget, you have PURs, you have PCRs, you have all them Ps and all the Rs, even Prismatic Secrets. So again, these used to be cheaper, guys. I mean, as you can see, it's a trend right now. Look, even the clean secret rares from Rarity 1, they're 3 bones, man. This card used to be like $1 and some change. No one cared about it. And now the secret is the same price as the platinum secret, as we can see here. Guys, I mean, some of these just fall out of favor. People don't like the Rarity 1 platinum secrets. Honestly, I don't mind. But yeah, PCRs, PURs, secrets, you name it, they're all bumping up in price. And don't forget, you even do have the Starlight rare as well. As you can see, still cheap, man. Still a great heavy stonk at around 65s. Mind you, a Starlight rare. Man, yeah, let's hear it. Yes, interject.
Collector rare.
Yes, ooh, nice. Yeah, because there's a lot of people in the community that they always ask, like, Jay, what should we be doing with the OG CRs? I don't like the PCRs, so that's a good one. Let's hear it.
I just want to definitely check, because I know these fell from grace quite some time ago. I knew they dropped. I thought, I wasn't sure if they went under the 10 mark at any point in time, but I know these are actually very beautiful cards, because we actually were, I was very disappointed in quite some time for our collector rares, but these were printed before the disappointments. So for anyone that's seen collector rare Lightning Storms, like the OG ones that you're showing, they're beautiful. Like, they are absolutely gorgeous. And I was an ultimate rare collector, so like whenever you got copies like this and these new ultis aren't hitting, like the collectors are the next to go, and these are the ones that are looking good. So how much are these like right now?
They're around
I need to
11s,
enlarge all this screen.
11s, 12s. You know, you could say right there, a couple of ones
Yeah,
and twos, and then it
honestly,
hits 15s. Yeah, at the bottom. Yeah.
Do you remember what these were at one point?
No,
These were triple digits.
Man, I mean that's why
These were $100. Yeah, so that's not even close. So I mean, for the players out there who kept them, I'm sorry. I have some. Anyways, but then like I mean, they're just too beautiful, honest to God. But like I mean, I should just pick up more at that point, just get another play set and everything. But like I said, for my collection, I just had 3, and it's just no, they don't. That's why we don't pick up collection stuff anymore, man. But
yeah.
It's like these are too beautiful. So like the players out there that didn't and you held out, you're awesome. Pick these up. They're very beautiful, and especially if you're just going to throw them in collection. So.
There you go. I mean, like Vengeful said, you're buying closer to the lows and to the highs, even on this tiny one-year chart compared to previous triple-digit prices.
Oh, bro.
I mean, insane. Yeah. Look at that. 15s at the bottom of the page. And again, if the card is indicating that it used to be triple digits, it's not just the previous demand. Yes, we understand. The card used to be even more broken in past formats, but also scarcity. So again, that hasn't changed. As you can see, only 22 listings, guys. So don't sleep on this card overall. Starlights, for it being a max rarity, 66s, that's a walk in the park. If you're a heavy stonker, don't sleep on this one. And just pick your choosing right now. Guys, if you need this card, don't sleep on it. You don't want to forget. You want to get access to your lightning storms, just like Pot of Prosperity. We've been talking about this card recently. We mentioned it, the fact that it used to be 12, 13 volts and this V-shape recovering. It says 20s, but really, we're at 30s, guys. So this buyout is, on point right now. We're actually catching it as it's happening essentially here. As we can see, there's 2 at 30s, but after that, 40 bones and then 50s and then gone, guys. So again, one page only, single digit listings. We can see people are speculating now. People are expecting this card to come back, maybe to 2, to 3. Who knows? I think they'll do it, as stepping stones. Maybe this time to 2 and maybe the next one to 3 if it ever comes back to 3. So people are speculating right now. So again, Vengeful, what do you think? Should this come back to 2? Is 1 5? Is 1 fine, or should it be 3s? At 3s down the line. What's your take on Pot of Prosperity?
It should be 3. I mean, I was always a fan of triple Pot of Prosperity. I think a lot of players hated it because the cards themselves were broken, and I can never justify like, oh, this cuts the damage I can do. It cuts off draw potential, by the way. I just want to say that. And then on top of that, I only get 1 card. Yes, it's of choosing, which is insane in this game. Because it literally takes, I believe it's like you open up something like a 1 of in your opening hand of a 3 of. It's like a 32 to 33% chance. You're essentially like doubling the chance you're getting a 1 of out of, or like a 1 of a 3 from the deck, okay? And that's why Prosperity was so good, was it essentially was doubling like your percentages of getting anything, okay? And that is amazing, but what we saw is it was broken with Tempai because they could 1-card combo into essentially death, even with the half damage, okay? So it's like, okay, you could do 16,000 damage off 1 card. Yeah, that might be like reason for it. But again, that's not Prosperity's fault. That's Tempai and Konami's. So there we go.
Yeah, hey,
so
I mean, that's a great take. Yeah. That's a great take. Yeah, because when a card gets hit around, a deck archetype like Tempai, and then they're not relevant anymore, then that makes room for the card to make a comeback.
And they hit them.
Yeah, so, exactly. So that's a great take, great speculation. And again, usually, like we say, the high end, a heavy stonk like a Starlight at double digits, anything under 100 is cheap for a card that I think used to be like $500-$600 at one point. Insane, because people needed play sets. And then you do have PCRs, PURs, you have alternatives here. After people go for the high end, as you can see that it's clearly getting cleaned out, they're going to come in and it'll trickle down to the, lower end that people, PCRs are good enough, PURs, and then those start spiking up as well. You have the OGs, like we've been mentioning on the channel as well. So take advantage of this. Don't let these, $2 secret rares become 5s and beyond. Make sure you're early, just like Vengeful said. So guys, again, we'll put the link in the description down below. We've already picked this brain for the first 2 cards. You guys already know. If someone has over 1,000 subs, monetized, you can see creating member videos, how to beat Blue Eyes. That's something that everyone's going to want to know, especially post Banlist. If Blue Eyes even becomes more in the forefront of the meta, you know, just great market watches, great thumbnails, great overall videos on how to beat, you know, certain decks and things of that nature. Make sure you subscribe. We'll leave the link in the description down below. And just any small thoughts with regards to your channel, why people should be subscribing?
We just try to honestly bring cards to the forefront before people talk about it. And I'm sure you were talking to your channel about Lordly Loads,
yes,
like well before they went up. Like I was discussing them with people when they were $3 a piece. And I know, you know, it's like not the biggest channel over here, but it's like we literally try to tell people about cards well before they spike up so you can make a little bit of money, or at the very least save money, because being a budget player in this game is hard. So honestly, a lot of budget players I think shy away from market watches because like, oh, I can't do it, I don't have money. That's when you need to watch the market watches, okay? Like that is the exact time you need to get in on the ground floor on certain cards that other people don't care about. They might even give you some of these cards. Like I guarantee you someone was given a Lordly Load for free. I guarantee you. I guarantee
at those prices, right?
Someone got a playset for free from some friends. I swear to God that happened. You know it. It didn't happen to you. You comment down below, okay? So like it happened. That's how it goes, and it's like get it on the ground floor, make your like get the value that goes up, but then trade out, okay, for the cards. Like you guys got to be able to trade out of the cards that when they spike, be able to get more cards before they go up, and then you're able to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh for free because it is a trading card game. So,
literally, love it. Yeah. That he mentions the fact about, you know, trading. You know, I believe is a lost art in Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, yeah. So that's the point. We're here to make and save money, you know, so you can get cards you want at cheaper prices. And or just profit as well. So love it. Make sure you subscribe to my guy right here, Vengeful Shadows. You know, we've been collabing for a while now. You know, this is what, like the third time I think, if I'm not mistaken. So love to have you on here, and this is just, it won't be the last. So love it, man. Clean thumbnails, as you can see here. Make sure you show some love. Make sure you subscribe. So let's get to it, guys. First link in the description down below as well. Make sure you come over here, use the Market Watch tracker here. Just track the cards that we will be talking about today, just in case if you want to speculate on any of these. Most of these you probably won't buy, but if there's any of these that you want to speculate, just in case they do come off the list, make sure you come over here. Look at the charts. They're depreciated because people, they're speculating, you know, that these cards are worthless, and maybe most are, but you never know. If you hit that jackpot with one of those cards that come off this damn list, as you can see here, you want to take advantage of that, guys. So again, we're going to continue discussing some Banlist takes. Again, 90 to 95% of these cards were Vengeful's picks. So again, on his channel, he has actually a video speaking of some of these as well. And we'll go ahead and now react to some of these picks, and we'll definitely get to it. So let's start with Red Reboot. Again, this was a card that Vengeful wanted us to highlight, especially out of all the cards that we will be talking about today. So let's just hear. I'm going to just give it to you before I react. Why should people be looking at this card, maybe picking it up at around $1 billion? What's your take on this one?
All right, so I have to say that, like, if you watch my most recent Banlist video, this is not on there because I'm not necessarily saying this is going to come off this exact format, okay? But if you scroll down to the bottom right or like lower right there, it's like we have talked in the previous about the future trap meta, okay? And Konami is moving us slowly but surely into the forgotten art of trap cards, okay? And for quite some time, they've been pretty useless in the game. The only ones that have been played are literally like Infinite Impermanence, Evenly Matched, you know, the ones that activate from the hand. And now we have the Dominus, Purge, and Impulse, okay? And Konami is just going to maintain with that role because we need traps that activate from the hand. And if you even notice, the casters on the YCS themselves cannot call Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler hand traps. And I do believe because we're officially going to get hand traps in the future. So Konami's even being careful with their wording around this matter, okay? So why Red Reboot is the #1 card I want to discuss is because as we progress into a trap meta, I do believe if it becomes a problem or there's not a lot of counters, because right now it's hard to counter Impulse or Dominus on your very first turn, and we see things like Triple Tactics Thrust and Talents combating that of monster effects, we're going to need something to combat the trap cards. And what better way than Red Reboot, especially if you are a going first player and you're not playing against like a full set 5 where Red Reboot was broken. You're essentially going to start off your combo, reboot, pay half your life points if you want to do it on your first turn, and then they get an additional set. So now it's a little bit more balanced of a gameplay. So I do believe it's a lot of moving parts of why Reboot in the future, potentially could come off the list. And with these like factors, I do believe it might be a meta staple in the future of Yu-Gi-Oh, especially after we get multiple dominances released, Odeon support, which I mean honestly it's not looking as good as we thought it might be, but we even see other things like Eldritch, we see the silhouette being ulti, and they're doing all these because they're going to build more traps in the future. So that's why I think Red Reboot is a #1 card to talk about, not just because of banlist implications, meta staples, but also, as you're saying, for the Prismatic Secret, it's $1. So, take away for that.
There you go. I mean, that's a great take with that damn rabbit that we're always talking about on this channel. The fact that they bring it as an OT even before maybe a Little Knight or some other broken link. I mean, maybe they actually want to focus on continuous traps pretty soon. So you never know. You know what I mean? These cards are on the list. Maybe they want to think ahead. Maybe not this list, but the next, like Vengeful said. Yeah. But just in case, if you see a card like this where you have 3 for, what is that, $150, that's $450 plus sack. Let's say 5 bones a play set. You never know. You get 1 for yourself and then exposure, an RO3, 1 to trade and 1 to sell. So not bad at all, guys. Just if you feel like speculating, you never know. Because if this card would be unlocked, it would be like double digits off the rip, in my humble opinion. It could go from $1 and some change to 10 overnight just off that initial hype, guys. So definitely listen to Vengeful with regards to that. I think I own this card. I need to double check because getting a couple more wouldn't hurt as well. Definitely a good time to get exposure to a card like this. Then we have Lordly Load. Recently we talked about the regular secret rares on the channel. We've been focusing on that one, but now that we have Vengeful, he did mention loads at the low prices and that he was talking about that on his channel. And also he wanted to just touch base on this card because it is so meta relevant right now with Blue Eyes post structure deck release actually topping events consistently. So here we have the quarter century secret rare. We can see used to be about 50 bones. It says 165s were the highs, and here you have a couple of one-ups, but it quickly reclaims that all-time high. And honestly, just like for the secret rare, what we've been saying is that the gap zone is too large. First of all, this is the max rarity, even though if they might print a Starlight in Battles of Legend, is it there that we're getting Starlights returning, right? I think I discussed that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we are definitely getting something as a Starlight.
Right, so we don't know if they start like printing like this card as a Starlight, which would be nice, but still, the quarter century should retain value, at least up until then, during this gap zone, and that's June. It's a long time from now. I actually expect this card to possibly even hit the 200s before June comes around, because people are underplaying. There's just a couple of 1s and 2s, and at the bottom of the page we already see 200s. So again, don't sleep on this card. What do you think about this one, Vengeful?
I think it's the gift that keeps on giving. You know what I mean? Like, if you picked it up on the low and you're playing the deck, you feel like you need to hold it, you probably can for quite some time. We saw it dip down. I believe it was like 55s on the day of the reprint being announced, and then it bounced right back up for like secrets. I'm saying, they bounced right back up, essentially like 7 something.
You're right.
And I mean, obviously the quarter centuries might have dipped a little bit, but they're not gonna go down too much more, because like you said, like the gap, there's that gap from high end to low end, and it's going to maintain, and that's why like you saw everything just shoot up the way it did. And I just think, like you said, we have such a time since the reprint. This deck is topping. I know people are worried about it. Like, if you're like, I'm not telling people to run out and go buy Lordly Loads or anything like that, but I'm saying, like, if you're worried about selling them because you need to get a top for an event, you should definitely be attempting to go get that top sooner rather than later, because the closer we get to the reprint, I do believe we will see signs of it, and it will start going down. And I think a lot of things that happen with cards like this, or even like ulti droplets back in the day, is we do have some sellers that are probably holding out on the stacks of them. They were the ones that were buying them at like 30s a piece and not flipping them immediately at 80s. So I do believe we somewhere have accumulated Lordly Loads. And again, once the Blue Eyes players, and this happens a lot with metagame, is like when the deck comes out, leading up to the deck or right after the deck, the cards in the deck spike, okay? And then as the meta goes on and people get the tops with the deck and don't care about it anymore, they start selling off their copies, okay? And then the prices start slowly going down because people don't care anymore. And then you'll see the side deck tech start increasing as time goes on. Like, it's almost like side deck stuff takes a little bit longer than the main deck stuff. So I think eventually, like, these are holding value. They could go up a tiny bit. They'll probably hold for a while, but as events start funneling through, they're going to drop again.
Yeah, and also you do have the new decks coming out in Alliance Insight before before actually Battles of Legend actually comes out. So again, people might switch over from Blue Eyes to like White Force as Amina, or Argo Stars got support, or Ryzeo got better, or Malice got better. So again, that's sell pressure, plus people knowing that this card could get reprinted. Eventually, we can clearly see the downfall in price of this card. I just think that the gap zone between now and the actual reprint is just too much time in between to actually see the sell pressure affect this card in the short to mid term. Then we have Fiendsmith Engraver. Again, we this card, ever since it released, has been the talk of the town in the sense that it's impacted so many Yu-Gi-Oh events, top tier Yu-Gi-Oh events, so many different decks, from rogue decks to top tier decks, using the engine to actually win so many events, guys. So again, Engravers, we just touched base on the secret rare a couple of times this past week. So wanted to focus on the higher end here. The quarter century secret rare used to be what, 200s, and now they're about 180. So again, I just want Vengeful's take in the sense of a possible balance implication. If maybe this card gets a slap in the wrist to 2, if maybe it gets hit to 1. I don't know if it's in the OCG that it's at 1, so maybe they do that. If they ban it, I don't see that happening until they reprint it. But just your take in general with regards to Fiendsmith Engraver and the engine in possible balance implications coming soon.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things they might do to trim down the engine of the Fiendsmith. Yeah, there we go. I have blanked for a second because it's in Ryzeo, so that's why I was thinking off the top of my head.
Of course.
So it's just like, so the Fiendsmith engine, I think they're gonna trim it down. The only reason I think they would even touch it to 2 at all is because it's so damn searchable. It's easy to get out. It's like, I love you, but it's like, this card, I love it, but it might go to 2. And the other thing too is the Bestials. The Bestials. Okay,
yeah, we need to let me search it up so we can touch base on that.
Oh, dude, actually, I'm so glad we brought this up because, again, these cards are cool, but man, I don't know about that. Like, so the Magna Hut is going to probably stay at 1. The Druid Worm on my list, I think, could potentially go to 1. Okay. And now we've seen and again, I like these cards and people might give me some hate for this, but the Druid Worm is kind of a problem. And right now we've seen kind of in the metagame that with the Bestials, not only are they hitting single targets out of the graveyard, like Eldritch, which I'm a big fan of, and they're trying to give support to. But we see them hitting out the things like the Fiendsmiths, like the Lori, and I mean, I'm not going to say Malice because the Malice just summons itself back, and that's why I love it. But the reason right now, though, that the Engraver itself isn't like as big of an issue is because it is past 3. Again, they can summon it so many times, and I love the card, but it might get hit sooner than later. Okay, and again, like, there's the reprint implications. They're going to make some money off of it in the very near future. It just really depends how much they want to hit it. And now OCG is different. That card's like a common over there or something. I don't know exactly where it is, but that's just how they are over there.
Right. Yeah, that's funny the way that they work over there. But yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, if they ask me if I'm a betting man, maybe a slap in the wrist or 2, where they can still reprint, it's still relevant, people still play it, it just hurts.
Because they need it in the 10.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, maybe it just hits the consistency. So yeah, not banned. 1 would be a bit too extreme, but 2 is just like that right hit to make it just right. And then players just, they take their 3rd copy out, they slide in some other card, and they don't feel, the impact that heavily. So again, that's what we think. And then with regards to Bestials, yeah, great take. I mean, Magnum is already at 1, so people don't see that changing because the card is just too good. And then you have Druid Worm, which is the one being played at 2 to 3. So again, this one's pushing 30s as well. Recently had a retracement back down to the mean, but yeah, I mean, this card is just too good. So yeah, I mean, it's good to hurt the consistency because then people still be able to play the engine, just not as consistent, or maybe they'll be forced to, use, for example, a Saranir or just a Baldrake or just one of the other Bestials that are not that good when compared to the Druid Worms and the Magnuma and the, Lubelli. So again, it's just maybe people have to recycle the use of Bestials to the other ones. But in the meantime, we expect some way, somehow, 2 things. Bestials to be reprinted in Stampede and Bestials to some way, somehow get hit on the list. Druid Worm to 2 or to 1, or Lubelli's and affect the consistency there, or just some way, somehow to be impacted by the ban list. So we'll continue to monitor these cards. Then we have Maxi. Usually when you speak about the ban list, every single time, every single ban list, there's always talk about this card, Maxi. I mean, it's Vengeful's favorite card, as you can clearly see there. A lot of talk, oh no, Maxi can never come back. If it comes back, it better be the 1. It can never be the 2 or the 3. Card is too toxic. I mean, it can't let me play Yu-Gi-Oh! And special summon and this and that in the 3rd. I need to stop talking and just hand over this beautiful card to Vengeful. Again, this is the Speed Duel one. We just randomly chose one because I love Speed Duels, and I believe these prismatic secrets, clean, cut, fresh off the press, just like the channel. Consolidating here, just waiting for the Stampede reprint. So what do you think about this beautiful, marvelous, gorgeous card, Vengeful?
Maxi to 3 in the TCG. Ooh, all right, man. It was not on my ban list prediction. I asked about it. I wanted to get everyone's comments and kind of see what people think. Not as much rage this time around, But honestly, I think people are kind of coming around to it a little bit more, okay? Molcharmies really showed players what was up, okay? And honestly, I think they were a test run for Konami, and a lot of players were like, oh, they're the test run to see if Maxi is going to get banned. It's like, yeah, that's like as well an option. And we saw Maxi getting to 2 in the OCG. I think that's kind of something they're going to stick around with. But right now, Molcharmies are doing all right. Fualos is really good. The Nihilist is okay. But overall, I don't think they're passing like the test that they were supposed to. Okay, they're not slowing down the meta any. If anything, like we're kind of playing around them a lot. Like they can hurt. The Fualos is good. I'm not gonna lie. Like Fualos again is really good. And if you're Malice, you get Nihilist. That sucks. But I feel like a lot of players that we see at the side decks, it really isn't hitting the same. So it wouldn't surprise me if Konami does flirt with the idea in the TCG of 1 or 2 Maxi. Okay, and I'm not sure if this would happen right away. I think at first they need to literally sell out all the Molcharmies. Again, we see them kind of preemptively printing them in other sets to sell them off. Then we're going to get them in the multi-reprint sets. So we get them in all the rarities. And then it was, I think, a surprise to a lot of players that after they removed Maxi out of Rarity Collection 1, now we have them putting it in the Stampede. Ooh. And that is actually kind of crazy. So yeah. that really threw a lot of players for the loop. And that's fine. So I think this is Konami's way of just kind of subtly hinting that players in the TCG, even for just playing older formats, you need to have some of your playset of Maxi just in case, okay? If they give us the copies you just showed us and gave us copies in Stampede and then unban them later and players don't have their copies, that's on them. So Maxi to the TCG, I think, is actually kind of possible going into the future formats.
All right, so Vengeful wants to see it at 3, but he expects maybe 1 to 2.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, I'm always a person. It's rough. It's rough when you get that feeling that you're limited. You're limited. You can't special summon, or you can't send to the grave with a shifter because it gets banished, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. I'm more of a proponent of letting us play. But if there's other things that don't allow you to play, then getting more of something else to me is like, I mean, there's other broken stuff too. So,
you can play.
So you know what I mean? So, I mean, I actually need this in my scrubby Dinomorphia deck. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be mad, personally speaking, because I could care less. Yeah, I do need a special summon Rex turn, but that's about it. We can wait. You know what I mean? So, guys, I mean, Maxi to 3 would be an extreme, in my humble opinion. 2 would be that limit. And 1, it would be like, it came back just a 1 of, I mean, so 2 would be that fine balance, but we'll see what happens. Now, the reprint and Stampede could be a big indicator of what could possibly come. But even if it comes to 2, I think they do it as a stepping stone. Bring it a 1, see how it pans out, even just as a 1 of, and then see how things go. And then if it's not that bad, they'd bump it up to 2. But yeah, a lot of people are like, no, Jay, it'll always remain banned. I mean, it is still banned. So until it gets unbanned, their statements will remain. So again, here we have Maxi again. We have Brilliance Fusion, guys. Ultimate Rare from OTS Tournament Pack 6. I mean, with this one, I'll keep it short and sweet. It's just because the card is beautiful. That's it. That's why it's going to get off the list. It doesn't matter, the Fusion Summoning and Gem Knights and this and that. None of that is relevant. It's just diamonds and swirls And we Yu-Gi-Oh players, we love artwork, especially OTs, or at least I do as a boomer, you know, because people nowadays love quarter centuries. Yeah, this card was 3840s, and now they're around 30s. If you have a spare $100 and you don't know what to do with them, let's come over here and get a playset of Brilliant Fusion, because this card, yes, is on the list, but just like it's on it, it could just easily get off. Yeah, I mean, some people, I think, if I'm not mistaken, not my expertise, mentioned possible FTKs or craziness around this card. Maybe, maybe not. Vengeful would know more about that, so I'm going to let him take over this card. But all in all, still, it could still maybe come off the list. Not every card has to come back to 3. Just anything that happens. If a card is banned and it goes to 1, then boom, prices are affected. If it's at 1 and it goes to 2, prices are affected. Or if it's at 1 and gets banned, then it crashes down. So again, always good to have to peep cards like these, especially, you know, a $30 ultimate rare that could easily go crazy and 2 to 3x if it comes off the list. What do you think about this one?
So it can't OTK through prosperity, so it can come back. All right,
okay,
that's all that means.
There we go.
No OTKs nowadays. I mean, I don't know. Like, a lot of decks used to be able to OTK, and now every deck can OTK, so I don't think it's like that crazy to think about. There might be some combos because I'm not sure it restricts, and I think a lot of the reason some players think it might come back as well is because with the new reprints given to Hidden Arsenal archetypes, I'm not sure if we've already been announced that we're gonna get like a Gem Knight support or not, but a lot of players have theorized Gem Knight support at the very least, that with you know, they're going back and touching up a bunch of Hidden Arsenal archetypes, you know. So Evil Swarm was one I was kind of hoping we'd get, and I think Gem Knights is kind of like the fan favorite that a lot of players want them to go back and like throw some stuff into. So I do believe Brilliant Fusion, whether it's like for just being able to come back or with the support being given to the Hidden Arsenal archetypes, you know, I think in the future, definitely not a bad call. And this card is you know, one of the ones that everyone will want to be playing. So
there you go. Yeah, I mean, and this one has a secret rare as well. It used to be more budget, actually, around 250s, but here, I mean, with shipping, it's pushing like what? Like that's 430s for around
people
there
already.
So yeah, people pushing up to 5. So yeah, these are nice, neat little secret rares. One to keep in mind, again, this video is about speculation. If you want to speculate, well, you know, these cards have been speculated on every ban list after ban list. Some get impacted, some not. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad to make those considerations. Now we have more of a modern touch. Modern in the sense that in our recent ban list, this card got nuked to 1. So Phantom of Yubel, quarter century secret rare. Card used to be money, man. Card used to be in excess of 247 bones. The ones that our bodies have. Bones. 247 bones. And now this $247 card is 65. So you can see getting floored here. And really it's 63 beans right there. 4 pages only. 33 listings. So the quarter century is still hard to get. You have OTs at single digits. The OTs were bumping up 2 to 3 bones a pop because people were speculating. Maybe getting bumped up back up to 2. So yeah, what do you think about this one, Vengeful? Should Yubel make a comeback into the meta, be given a shot, an opportunity to compete against the Ryzios and the Malices and the Blue Eyes of the world? What's your take with this card?
Oh yeah, I don't believe it ever should have honestly went to 1. I think Konami always preemptively hits certain decks and then just kind of ignores other decks a little bit. You know, they kind of forget a little bit about it. But yeah, Phantom of Yubel could definitely go past 1 at this point. I think, you know, letting it compete is definitely healthy. You know, again, I think a big thing is the Fiendsmiths is the actual like issue, and that might be why they're not letting the Yubel out to play, because once you get the Fiendsmith online, you're able to actually go into the Caesar, which kind of like insulates the deck. And I know like the Phantom itself did as well against the Nibiru, but Phantom plus the Caesar is like a big problem like that a lot of players are having against the deck. Yeah, but
yeah,
you know, I don't think that's a reason.
It's not like there's not other problems, you know, or other decks that are broken. You know, that's really the key with me. It's like, oh, let's get rid of this problem, but that problem is fine. You know what I mean? But I get it. It is what it is. Ryziels needed to be, you know, and Malice cards need to be sold.
They sell.
So, yeah,
they sell.
It is what it is.
Konami sells.
Yeah,
and they know how to do it.
Yeah. So again, at 10 bones, the card was 650s. Now bumping up 30% to 980s or 35% right there, pushing 10s. And then it does go to 15 bones at the bottom of the page. So if you feel like speculating, because if this card comes back, oh boy, triple digits overnight for the quarter centuries. this card would at least, could be a $25, $30 card overnight as well. Easy as an OTS, maybe even higher. And then the secrets would reclaim double digits, going up from 7 bones to like 15, 20, 25s. Because deep down, these cards are still hard to get. Not just the OTs as an ultimate rare. Even the secrets, they were always hard to get. They're just cheap because of the ban lists. So again, definitely keep these in mind. Then we have Christian Alcafibrax, guys. I mean, come on, Vengeful. I mean, all I know, I'm a casual Yu-Gi-Oh player, okay? I'm not that competitive, so I see things from the outside looking in, whatever that means. You know what it means? Is that I see the word Christian. That's it. So I see Christian, and I see that there's that one kid that tops with the deck at a YCS, right? And one kid, and he wants to play an additional Christian card. That's it. That's all I see. I don't got time to read effects. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I like the artwork. It's a Christian card and it's an ulti. So why not, right? I mean, you'll give us the technicals and the actual explanation, but should Christian players that are already topping events receive this beautiful card back? Look, let's not even bring it to 1. We'll bring it back to 0.5. Just give him a shot to play half of the card. We'll leave the artwork part only without the effect. What do you think about this card? I mean, we got to have fun with the ban list. You know what I mean? You mean what I know? So what do you think about this one?
Okay, no effect. Just all full art cards.
Yeah,
First
it.
full art will be Chris
0.5. Bring it back to 0.5. Come on.
Yeah,
that's it.
Don't get me wrong. I want to pick up a couple before it comes back because that'd be insane. Okay. But I mean, I don't know if it. Can it? Yes. Should it? I'm not sure about that one.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
I liked the card. It was actually really fun because you could actually implement it with a couple builds, use the effect, summon out like 200 synchros on the opponent's turn, and then I like gravity collapse, and then it was actually able to you could tech gravity collapse in almost every single deck because if you're able to open it, you could almost always go into Crystron, formula synchron on the opponent's turn, draw a card, and then immediately just gravity collapse their stuff.
Yeah, just pop off.
Or just go into a variety of other tuners that are actually decent as well, or like tuner synchros, and gravity collapse was just able to go into that. But that's my being bad at Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Crystron though, and the meta altogether, I think it would tear the game apart. But I mean, I'll let it be. If I have my Max C, I'll draw an extra couple.
There you go. Why not, man? Why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
if I can get my Max C, they can get their Crystron.
Right? Hey, why we gotta pick and choose? You know what I mean?
Let's all have everything.
Yeah, man. Why even have a list at all, right, guys? Nah, it's all funs and games, guys. But again, I mean, if you're a betting man, not to say I don't expect this to, get unlocked or even come. We're just playing here, guys. But I mean, for the price that this card is, I mean, where is that? When I saw a quarter around it, I mean, you got pennies right here. I mean, why not? Quarters, maybe put in $1. Play that lottery ticket just in case. Because if this would ever come off the list, even though we don't expect
that's
it,
actually insane.
That's double digits. Double digits off the night. Yeah. So quarters can become 10 bones a pop. Why not? Hey, we're all addicts here, okay? We're all addicted to the brown. Vengeful, you addicted to the brown?
So addicted.
Love it, man. Yeah. Let me see the brown around here. Look at that. Look at that brown. Oh man, love it. I have to ask everyone that hops on the channel, man. I need to ask if they're addicted to the brown. Okay, man. Oh boy. Pause. Let's leave it at that. We have Heavy Storm. There we go. From Dark Beginning 2 right there. You see? He's an addict, just like you guys, man. Hey, we all here for a reason. It's because we're all addicts, guys. Here we have a Heavy Storm. Dark Beginning 2. This one is 9 to 10 bones, almost pushing double digits. We've already talked about the quarter century and the platinum secrets on the channel. So just to mix it up, we're talking about the OG. When me and Vengeful used to play at the parks and the school grounds, because we're Yu-Gi boomers out here. And this is the version we always wanted. The holographic, clean, super rare. So what do you have to say about this one, Vengeful? Do you think it comes off the list finally? And even with the recent reprint that we got in Bonanza, with the platinum secret and the quarter century, you have supers and ultras. I mean, what would happen to this card if it comes off the list? And do you think it's time maybe to one? I mean, again, just off our theme that we've been talking about. There's other broken stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh. One Heavy Storm, yeah, or maybe I'm wrong. Let's hear it.
Heavy Storm can definitely go to 1, kind of with the red reboot thing we're talking about, where it's going to be like combating like the trap card meta. The only thing I have to say is Dark Beginning. Is it the Dark Beginning one? That's not the original one. Yeah. We think it was like a magic ruler before they got like sued, and then it was spell ruler. You know, good stuff. Yeah. So like those are beautiful, but I also love Hobby League Heavy Storms are amazing too. I just want to say that those are so beautiful. But those the ones you're talking about with those the quarter century secrets, honestly amazing. It does not surprise me that those are actually increasing as well, because everyone's been hoping Heavy Storm comes off the list for quite some time. If anything, they've been teasing us a little bit, like, oh yeah, this list, next list. Maybe this list. Halka-Febrax. Yeah, that's what you guys want. Yeah. So, no, Heavy Storm, I think, could definitely go to 1 in the TCG. It's going to happen. We're getting new traps, and they don't care. They don't care. And honestly, I don't think we care anymore. It's not like we're going to pop Fluffle machine or whatever it was, or the vending machine, and search all these cards. Like, we're not plussing off our own backer anymore. And if we are, we're already going to send it off our cards like Outledge. So,
right. There you go. I mean, again, the card is used in Time Wizard format. Let's just transfer that to advanced format. Why not? At 1 at least. So we already have Harpy's Feather Duster. Might as well, of course, popping your own stuff like Vengeful said. Also can provide pluses under certain circumstances. But again, we can have Raigeki and Dark Hole. We might as well have Harpy's Feather Duster and Heavy Storm. Let's complete.
Plus, it's a flying cow. I mean,
look at that. The artwork is where it's at. That's the main reason why, guys. So please, Konami, give it to 1 about time. Then we have Glow Up Bulb. This card, we were talking about it at around 450s, 5 bones on the channel as a quarter century secret rare. Just advising, guys. Pick it up. Worst case, Banlist speculation takes it to new highs. And here we are. The card was 561s. The lows right here. You can see it just recovering strong from the lows. It says 626s, but really with shipping, you need to pay at least 8 bones plus tax to get the card. 20 listings only. And all you have is 1 ofs, man. The 2 ofs are already $10, man. Pushing double digits for a beautiful, glowable quarter century secret rare. I was telling people to pick these up at 4 to 5s. You know, what do you think about this card? Does it make a comeback? We've been expecting this one forever. I remember, this going into Nat Beast was just too broken. So what do you think about Glowable possibly making a comeback to the TCG?
It'd be interesting if it does. I think at one point we will see its return, actually, especially just the once per duel. There's a lot of effects that essentially get the similar treatment with like being able to go to the grave and revive themselves on their own. It being a tuner is what honestly kind of sets it aside, as well as a plant, because there's a lot of plant-based effects that get off just from having that one monster. Without the Halka-Febrax, it is definitely not as broken as it was. So like I think without Hulk, it can stay. If they even like think about having Hulk, like we could definitely not have this in the game. But I think it's not worth keeping it banned like forever, because I think that, like, again, there's just too many monsters that you're like, oh, summon, I'll link away, my monster summons to the board, and then my monster comes back. I mean, we literally have Malice where every single monster returns twice. So honestly, 1 glow up bulb for milling a card from the top of the deck, that's not the worst that we can have happen. They just hate earth plants, bro.
No, just a one-off. Just bring it back to 1, test out the waters. Worst case, you'll have another ban list down the line. It's not like this is the end-all, be-all. You know what I mean?
It's not going to break the game that much.
Yeah. I mean, it can't break the game as hard as the current cards break the game. They're just too good, you know? So it'll always be the case. Of course, again, cards like these, I always am a proponent to bring them to 1. And really, on a more serious note, like, you do have another ban list down the line. Unless, of course, that doesn't mean that you can unlock anything from the list, because you don't want it to affect, the balance of, the game in itself. So we get it. But glow above to 1, let us do some shenanigans. Why not? I'd unlock it to 1. And especially because we got some of these, So, you know what I mean? Hey, if this comes back to 1, then your boy's going to be eating good. And I know Vengeful probably has a couple of these. Do you like the OG Ultras or the previous secrets or the new which one you know? Well, I get that, but that's high baller status, more on the budget for us, for us the peasants.
Okay, quarter century's gonna be looking pretty decent, I'm sure. Sure. But honestly, the secrets were clean.
Yeah, these OG
But I love
secrets.
Platinum, man. Platinum looks so
Okay,
good.
okay, right
Or
there.
what? Oh yeah, the Platinum secrets. Yeah, those look so
Okay,
good.
right
Like,
there. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those on like a lot of the cards. But
Right.
for the artwork, it's not like it doesn't complement the best. It's not like a vampire. Look
Right,
or
right,
something,
right.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So make sure you get your glow up bulbs. You just never know. Another card that Vengeful mentioned was Change of Heart, guys. It came back to 1, didn't do anything in the Yugi-verse. Of course, there was like a format for a little while where people were siding one of these in and one and a Snatch Steel, which we're gonna get right after this card too. So again, this card is 14-15 bones. This is an iconic Yu-Gi-Oh card. I mean, the card used to be 24 bones. It's in the downtrend, guys. The trend is your friend until the end, just making new lower lows and lower highs, as you can see. But eventually, you're buying closer to the lows and to the highs. So again, at 14-15 bones for an iconic quarter-century secret rare, I don't see this card going too much slower. Anything is possible. Yeah, maybe be a single-digit card one day, maybe. But again, it's just getting harder and harder to get. It came in the Rarity Collection Uno, and it is a broken card. So if they ever bump this up to 2, this thing would spike up like crazy, not because of direct meta relevance immediately. It's just the fact that players out there, they're like, oh, I want access to the card. Now I can play 2. And that mindset is going to push this card up to over a 2x price increase. Just if you're care to speculate, you know, this is a good one. And as Vengeful talks about this one, I'll go ahead and just show the other versions. So, yeah, you mentioned this one. So why should people be looking out for a Change of Heart?
It's at 2 in the OCG, so they're definitely going to be bumping it, I believe, at some point in the TCG. We've seen that, like, a long time ago, they even hit Brain Control because they were so afraid of it with the E-Rod after it was banned and brought it back, and now it's trash, and no one plays it. It's at 3, and now we have Change of Heart unbanned, so good stuff, Konami. So 2 Change of Heart could definitely be something we could be looking at, and again, going second is something that always needs love in this game, so this is a card that you're going to have going second. Gone are the days of you main decking this card in your deck just because you might have it. I mean, I don't want to say that too soon. You never know what can happen in this game. Yeah. But like as of now, with the current like meta thought process, this is a side deck card for when you are going second. And a lot of times this is a target for thrust, okay? So even at 2, players might still only play 1. And after that, like we kind of, a lot of players, you know, even say it's like 1 Change of Heart, 1 Mind Control or something. And a lot of that's just to red the board of an opponent's card or take it on their field so they can actually utilize it for like an Exceed or a Link with Malice or Ryzeal, you know. So again, a lot of the tech, and that was even just replaced with Metal Tronus, I want to add. So it's just not what it used to be, and the only thing that's really going for it is it's not hard once per turn because it's an old card, and I don't think like that's going to be like once in a blue moon that will pop up. So Change of Heart to 2 definitely could happen, and that rebound, or like you said, like going up back up to that 30 mark, I do believe will be happening at some point in time. It'll go up to 45 plus one day, especially if it goes past 2, because I even was there when it was like $15. It shot up to the 30 mark, and then it dropped down to the 24, and then it's been down to the 15 again. So it's been all over the world.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you just never know with some of these cards. Again, look, you have secret rares with massive walls of China here at just 2/4 a pop. Not bad at all if you want exposure, because these clean secrets with spike card, they 10x overnight. Be it like a $5 card easy, and they just look so clean. So again, some of these Rarity Collection 1 cards, people literally forget that they ever got reprinted. No one's talking about Change of Heart right now. And again, if you feel like speculating, look, you even have PURs and PCRs at $1 and some change. So it's pretty cheap in the big picture. If this card would ever come back, then it would spike up hard.
PCR looks great, by the way, the wings. They look good.
There you
especially
go.
If you get Euro print.
Ooh, there you go, guys. So don't miss out. Don't miss out. And then we have the counterpart, the best friend. Change of Heart's best friend in here is Snatch Steel. As we can see, an iconic Yu-Gi-Oh card as well. The quarter centuries were 50s. And it says it's 55s, but really it's still hovering around that same price range. 12 listings, though. So, again, it's pretty scarce. Quickly goes up to triple digits. And then you also have the secret rares as well. That used to be shekels. When it first came out, you could find this card at 50 cents to 75 cents. And now, look, from $1 and some change, it says 2s right here. You do have a couple one-ofs, random deals right there. But really, the card, you see multiples at 2 bones a pop, including Euro prints. So, Snatch Steel. I mean, Vengeful touched base on it and mentioned the card, you know, people playing this alongside Change of Heart, you know, so yeah, just very quickly, you have any thoughts on Snatch Steel?
I remember, what is that? Oh, I got them for 75 cents when I got them. I saw a video from Fresh Off the Press, and I had to feed the addiction. So 75 cents, that's not too bad. We're already up to 2s, and these could definitely go a little bit further. They haven't been hit with the anniversary collection thing yet, or my bad, the rarity collection treatment.
Right.
I will be interested if they do. I kind of think they will in the future. I'm not sure this is going to be their first choice, though. I think they have a lot of other options to go with before they hit the Snatch deal. I think that is why we even see the quarter century secrets of these potentially will hold or go up, though. And that a lot of that is because with the Konami announcement saying they're not going to double print the quarter century like they were doing that last time. That is definitely a very, very good option to have those, okay? Well, the secret, yes, I'm going to be happy that I got mine for a little cheaper and a little higher. Those quarter centuries are kind of the ones you want to be on the lookout for, and even those old ultras really clean as well. I like how we're kind of getting all the rarities, but Snatch Steel, great card, not going anywhere, especially when you have that Eyes Sold band.
Yeah, so you think that we're getting a Stampede treatment maybe, or Rarity Collection 5? I mean,
it's always an option with this card.
Point.
I mean, Konami is really not holding the stops anymore.
Yeah. We need it. We need it, Vengeful. We need that matching rarity, that Platinum Secret. So we'll continue to see how this one pans out, but
it would look good. It would look fancy. That diagonal would look great.
Yeah, we need it. Konami, listen to Vengeful, man. We have Mystic Mind just to keep on adding on to what we're doing here, guys, today. We just, why not, man? Why limit ourselves to Mystic Mind? Just to one. We played a set rotation, a terraforming, and one Mystic Mind. That's it. That's all we need. And throw some random field spell there. We're definitely going to listen to Vengeful's take here. But yeah, $125, if you feel like speculating for a card that none of us expect to actually come back. You know what I mean? Here we have the card we put near mint, cleaned this up janitor style. You have a couple here at $1 and some change. Quickly goes back up to 2s and beyond. So again, even as an investment, look at this massive volume candle. People speculating on this card coming back. So I won't say too much about this one. There's not too much to say. I mean, the artwork and the card name in itself explains everything I need to say. But let's listen to Vengeful talk about this one. Yeah.
It's the healthiest card in the game. It was fine. You just need to play Backroad Destruction. Heavy Storm will come back. You'll be okay. You'll be good. Everything's fine. Mine is fine.
Yes.
All right.
You see?
It's healthy for the game. Completely safe at 1. Nothing bad will happen at all. You can trust all of us. Okay. Especially with 3 Metaverse, it is perfect.
Yeah.
And then it will definitely. But if it did come off, it would literally be like $10. So there you go.
There you go. I mean, it would 10x overnight. So 5 to 10x. So you never know. We're just all speculating here.
Depends which one you're looking at.
Yeah, of course. With this prismatic, looks really
just
beautiful.
Listen to Vengeful. Mine's okay. 3.
You see?
With Max C.
It's like these broken cards are good as long as more get unlocked alongside it. It's like that type of thing. That's what we're
different type of balance.
Yeah, right.
Add weight over here. Add weight over here.
And then here we have Baron de Fleur. Man, the French always comes out with this card. And we have Borlode Savage Dragon. In the back scenes, Vengeful was saying that Savage Dragon is more likely if he'd have to choose one of these 2 broken synchro monsters that could possibly come back, at one point. I mean, let's just throw Appaloosa in here. These Omni Negates just broken. Look at that reaction, guys. Look at that. I mean, this Starlight Rare can't be this cheap, right? So we need to have it back at 1. I mean, if we get a Baron, we might as well, get Apple with it and also get Borlode Savage Dragon. So what do you think, Vengeful? Do you think the game is healthier without these Omni Negates, as most people would? Do you mind seeing maybe one of these come back, none of these, all 3? Let's hear it.
If I can't have my mind, you can't have your Omni Negates, okay? It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, all right? No, get them out of here. Yeah,
all right.
Keep the game balanced.
You see, he said it. Why? Because these are, look at that, spiking up in price. This card used to be 5 bones, okay? 5 bones, Vengeful, for Borlode Savage Dragon, and it's going bonkers. You have one here like 16s, then goes to 25s, and then 50 bills at the bottom of the page, 10 listings only. Then you have Baron, used to be a $13 card. You have 2 at 25s, then it hits 30s, and then it hits 40s at the bottom of the page, as you can see. And then Appaloosa, I mean, we are mentioning the Starlight. There's not really too much action with this one, but this card did come out in a rarity collection. So if we put it here, let's actually touch base on, the alternate art looks nice. What a beautiful card. And as you can see, there's actually people speculating. Now the card was 10 bones. Now it's 15s. At the bottom of the page, it pushes 19 to 20s. So you can see, even though we don't expect these cards to come back, speculation is at an all-time high for the ban list. So as Vengeful said, we don't expect these to rip off, but hey, the list. But these prices, people are speculating hard on the higher rarities of these cards. So like Vengeful said, just be on the lookout. You know what I mean? Just be on the lookout. Guys, link in the description down below. Make sure you come over here to our link tree. Make sure you join our Discord. Take advantage of our deals and steals, tools, and community resources for you guys. And make sure you subscribe, not just to me, but also to my guy Vengeful. Guys, make sure you subscribe to us. You can find Vengeful's link in the description down below. And again, stay tuned. We have our giveaway, guys. At 8K, we're giving away the triple T's right here. And then it's kind of blurry, but oh well, you don't need to see it. You'll receive it. That's it. Just make sure you subscribe. And then our 8.5K giveaway here with Starlight Rares, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. You want to participate. All you have to do is subscribe. Ring that bell, like the video on the way in, and none of this content is official financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. And make sure, again, subscribe to my guy. That is my guy, Vengeful. He's been going at it for what? Almost an hour in here? Insanity. So respect the hustle. The man knows what he's talking about. Make sure you subscribe and show that love. All right, man. All right. You know, we have to start the end of the halftime show with one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever printed. Look at just single print still, even though it's getting the Stampede treatment, thankfully. Thank you, Konami. About time. This card is Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King. What a name. What an artwork, and what an effect. Just one of the most iconic broken Yu-Gi-Oh monster cards ever printed that, I won't lie, most of the community really didn't like this card. And that's fine, because I loved it. There's more room for me to love the king. Man, it's just what a beautiful card. And, you know, we expect it to come back. Honestly, even as a true Draco player myself, I don't think this card coming back to 1 really does anything. Because I believe it's already happened in the OCG, if I'm not mistaken. And again, it'll be more about the nostalgia, you know? Look at that. 9 measly bones, round 10s. We expect this to be a sub $5 card once the Stampede treatment comes around the corner. Yeah, new all-time lows to be expected. But Banlist implication-wise, I think this card comes back to 1, gets reprinted in Stampede, and I don't think it'll do much, unfortunately, man, unless we maybe diagram, which we will talk about right here as well. So, I mean, while we're on it, diagram at least a 2. It's about time. Let True Kings play. You know what I mean? But give us diagram to 3, Masterpiece of 1. Do you think any of these Banlist moves would actually change, make the deck at least compete in some way, shape, or form?
It would compete after it gets some support. The fact that they have held it down this long is actually crazy. But again, that is kind of like Konami's MO. You know, it took them like 10 years to get the Hedgehog like put to 1, or what is it, Neospatian Grand Mole. Yeah, that thing was at 1 for way too long. So yeah, Konami doing what Konami does.
Yeah, you imagine support for True Dracos? Oh man. Oh man. I mean, we don't really have a tribute summon deck recently. So again, we don't need a new one. Just give us support, Konami, okay? Just give the king some support. Give him some soldiers. He's already the king. He just needs an army. And let us play Yu-Gi-Oh! Make tribute summoning great again, guys. You know what I mean? I'm
so down for this. I thought Primites were gonna be that, honest to God.
No. We need this. We need a True Draco Primites. Nah, man. I'm just kidding. So yeah, we'll continue on with Zodiac. So again, that format was about True Draco Zoo. And again, Barrage came back to 1. Last list, if I'm not mistaken. And now, again, it's not like we don't have detonators flying around, you know, things popping cards. I mean, Dryden, why not, man? I mean, there's nothing that we don't currently see in the meta. Nothing too broken, nothing too crazy. You know, what do you think about this one? Should Dryden make a comeback at least to 1?
I think it potentially could. I just remember, like, I feel like every format that has the Dryden, I'll play against the deck, and then somehow I die to it. So, I mean, I could probably keep it on the list, but I probably should not stay there, honestly. Like, the games evolve, where it's like, if this deck is what's killing you, you probably are missing a few other, like, key components in your strategy that are not the Dryden's fault, so.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's $5. People probably bring this up to 10s just on speculation alone. It's a card that could use a rarity collection print. So again, they could milk this card in that sense. A lot of people hated this card, but also a lot of people really loved you know, this card as well. It used to be broken. So yeah, just give it back to us, man. And then we have tier limits. This just keeps getting better and better, guys. Just when you think you've seen it all, you're just getting started. That's that Banlist, man. Banlist talks. You just can't make this stuff up. Just when you go from one broken card to another, you think it just can't get any more broken. But here we have Tier Elements Kit Kalos. Guys, from Power of the Element, a single print, mind you. The card was so broken it didn't even get reprinted. Guys, that's when you know that the card needs to come back. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. Come on now. This card is what, 4 or 5 bones, as we can see here, deservedly so. Just leave this card on that damn list. Okay, let's listen to Vengeful and why this card shall remain on the list and not even come back, not even to 0.5. Okay, not even get the 0.5 treatment that Christian Alcafibrax will be getting, guys. Not even a 0.5. Let's listen in.
It's broken. There you go. I can't have my mind. You can't have your. No, I mean, and this was like definitely an age of its own. So Kit Kalos, I mean, I don't think it will come back. I think there was an argument that a lot of players were making, like if it could, and like would it actually make the deck actually broken because everything else is at 1, the issues stuff is hit, and then bestials are kind of crazy. So like essentially with all that stuff, like there's a potential that like the deck itself wouldn't be as crazy as like a lot of majority of the player base thinks if Kalos does go to 1. So if you hate what I just said, go ahead and comment rage down below right there. But honestly, I don't actually think it would be that crazy without the Yugioh and the other one that milled from the deck with the Shizu support.
There we go. Let's get them Banlist discussions.
Like Havness and stuff, like they're all still at 1 too. You know?
Yeah, so why not, man? Let's just get them discussions rolling in the comment section. I expect that comment section to be fired. Now, attached to the engraver take that Vengeful had earlier, we have Fabled Lurie, of course. I mean, Fabled, they're getting direct support as well, so that might impact this card, like just getting straight banner hit to 1, but some type of hit just to affect the Fiendsmith engine's consistency as well. So again, that's definitely a possibility. As you can see, the card was 5-6 bones, went up to 13s, and then back down to the scene of the crime. So, you know, why do you think if it gets hit, you know, that Konami should consider slapping at least this card on the wrist?
Yeah, if they hit it, they're not gonna. I mean, it wouldn't be to 1 unless it was just like some morbid joke. So it would have to be a ban. A lot of it was because like the tracks combo. Not only do you like if they're not gonna hit the engraver, they're not gonna hit anything else. Then like Lurie would be the one to go. They reprinted it to us. They sold it to us again. You know, they've already made the money off of it. Even with the Fabled stuff coming out, that doesn't necessarily mean like this is going to stay like in the metagame. Look at how Alcafibrax and the Cristrons right there. And a lot of this is because this is not a hard once per turn. So once you get in the Fable stuff and you can actually loop it back and dump it again, and go to Synchros and loop it back and dump it again. Yeah, that's when you actually get into the implications of like this card might be a little nutter butter. Yeah, okay,
that's a great
take. Then it's just too good. And with the way we have right now with the Fiendsmith support, it just makes it where you don't have to dedicate to a normal summon until way later on in the combo, where if you get rid of the Fable, you have to dedicate to things like the Lacrima earlier on. So.
Love it. Let's see it happen. You know, we need to make it harder for them broken cards, you know, and broken engines to see play, you know, but we'll see what the community has to think. And then we have Into the Void, a card that I actually used to play in my True Draco deck when it was back at 3, just to thin the deck. And we can see it at $1. I believe it's at 1. So again, at $1, not bad to get exposure. I mean, the card is good. You know, deck thinning in Yu-Gi-Oh! Usually, you know, cards like that remain on the list, even though we see what's happened with Upstart. But again, you never know if this one gets bumped back up to 2 or to 3 at one point. You know, this one could use a rarity collection treatment as well. But up until now, we don't expect it happening. So again, just one to consider. As we speculate here. I mean, I don't know. There's not too much to say with this one. I don't know if you have anything to say with regards to this one. Yeah.
Upstart's at 3. This could go to 3. It's harsher impact and harder to use.
There you go. Listen to my guy Vengeful, man. He's speaking for a reason. When he speaks, we listen. We have Summon Sorceress. Now this one, I'm gonna hand it to you. Just take this one over. What do you think about Summon Sword?
It got eroded, and it's actually out, if I'm correct, over in the OCG, so it's only a matter of time until we actually get that for sure. Like, actually guaranteed. So.
There you go. That's a great take. So this is the Shonen Jump for 5 bones. This is not that bad, right? I mean, you know, $5 for a Shonen Jump, 3 pages only. I mean, I could see this coming like in a rarity collection, just like all these broken link monsters. That'd be nice. Maybe rarity collection 5. we'll see. But
yeah. Well, this one has the old text, so
the new errata. Yeah, no, I mean like the newer version. But yeah, the card is beautiful.
Well, yeah. Well, that might be why some people like the value of this one going up later, is because some people like that old text. Like my Dark Magician of Chaos Secret from Yugi's World held decent value, even though it came in Rarity Collection, because it has the old pre-errata text.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then on top of that, add that it's a Shonen Jump card, so definitely. Keep this one in mind. And then balance implications. Do you think with the errata, it gets unlocked, it just comes back, everyone's willy-nilly just, using this card? Yeah.
Nah, I don't think it'll be the exact same as like we saw.
All right, the errata really nukes it. Okay, all right. So we have Linkaribo. Now for this one, you did have more to say with this one. You had a perfect explanation, so I'm gonna just let the community run with it. Why should this get unbanned?
Oh man, Konami hit this instead of being able to go through and hit Ash and Snake Eye and all the things that they needed to hit that they ended up hitting anyways, and then they kind of left the Karibo on the list because they can't admit that their fault and that the ban list is actually there to sell cards instead of balance the game. So Link Karibo should not be banned and could definitely come to one and is perfectly balanced outside of these weird theories of, it has a quick effect that can get around stuff. So definitely you do recommend like Link Karibo going to 3.
Poi Link Karibo. Yeah. I mean, the card existed before Snake Eyes format, and it was still good, and it never got hit. So, maybe it was too broken at that one point, but now with that deck not being relevant anymore, I believe it's time for the card to make a comeback. Let us know what you guys think. And this is the Shonen Jump. Again, back-to-back Shonen Jump cards. These beautiful Ultra Rares are also scarce, been on a downtrend because of the clear ban hammer, but honestly, if you want to speculate at 5 bones, not bad at all. Then Sekka's Light. This was one that Vengeful brought up. I was like, man, I forgot about this card. Has a beautiful prismatic secret rare. I think this is Denko, right? The Denko Sekka art. Yeah, beautiful artwork, as we can see here. And this is the max rarity. You can see the spike from 50 cents, volume coming in. And here we are. You do have a couple at 60 cents and beyond. So the card is beautiful just because of the artwork. Who cares about the ban list right now? But what do you think about this one? I mean, this card, it is broken. But what, like Super Heavy Samurais played this? What else? I mean, like why not come back? Let's hear it. Why not?
I saw some like Thunder Dragon Chaos decks way back when like we had all the broken stuff still out, and like it was all Monster Mash. We didn't have all the hand traps we have now that can combat. Like I just don't see a lot of implication with this in the meta game where like the decks are so broken. Again, it's like I'm sorry, what's more broken? The card that's drawing you to and then it cuts you off of everything, or the fact that you can play a deck with no fucking spell card. I don't know if I'm supposed to curse. I'm so sorry if I can't. But it's like no spell cards.
You know why? Because my guy Saki does it all the time. It happens. You're good.
There we go.
I mean, we're not a proponent of like just all out, but if it comes out, we're good, bro. We're good. Yeah,
exactly. Good. Okay. So anyways, so it's like what's more broken? The draw card that cuts you off entirety of Yugioh, or the deck that can run without playing spell cards or trap cards. So again, kind of like Prosperity, the main issue isn't the second light, it's the other cards, and I think it could definitely go to 3 because I'm sorry, if you're willing to dedicate no spell traps to the deck like the Super Heavy Samurai, you deserve more than 1 second slide.
Right. That's what I like about Vengeful's takes, that he focuses more, instead of hitting like the staple per se, is some of the cards around it, that really hamper the utility of some of these cards like Prosperity or Sekka's Light. We believe they focus on the wrong card again throughout, like not at the moment. On the moment, maybe it deserved the hit for that format, that's fine. But 1 year, 2 years, 3 years out, and these cards are still here, even if the cards around, that impacted the utility and the brokenness of this card we're talking about.
And just power creep.
Yeah, they got either power crept or they're just not relevant anymore. Or maybe they got on the list hit too. So, and then this card is still paying the price. So again, at Shekels, why not? To me, it's worth the risk at Shekels right here, as we can see. Again, if you have an extra couple of Billies lying around, getting a play set, putting it in a binder and forgetting about it, if it comes off the list, man. So we have Nightmare Griffin from Flames of Destruction, the secret rare, recently seen play. You see spiking up to 21s, now crashing back down to the scene of the crime, even lower, coming back down to 10s, even for first ads at 1050s. So again, what do you think happens to this one and maybe any of the other Nightmare cards? Should they stay on the list? Where's Mermaid? Mermaid's broken. There's a couple other ones, that green one out there. Is it that one? I don't know. Yes. You guys get it. Hey, what should this Nightmare, should this get hit? Should it get banned? Should it get this? Should it get that? Let's hear. Let's hear. You're saying yes with your head movement, so we want to hear.
I love
yes.
the card. I
Okay.
love the card personally. In all my combos, I like it. I like it. It can set my continuous floodgates directly from the graveyard, but it's for all these reasons that it's probably going to get banned. And we see now that it actually combos right into the A-Bow. A-Bow will then revive it in perfectly with the arrows. So not only do you get a free set, you get to cut off your opponent from all the effects of their special summon monsters. So Nightmare Griffin, I see of it on the next on the list. So I think Nightmare Griffin going to 0 is something that could happen, and even on my last list, I didn't have any hits to Malice, and some players are probably wondering why, but this is a hit to Malice because they have to set up a new end board combo, and letting you activate your special summon effect monsters, kind of a hit, like that kind of hits their end board.
I mean, what I like about
being banned potential.
What I like about Vengeful's take is that, I mean, there's other Nightmare cards on the list for a reason. Yeah, maybe Phoenix, maybe Cerberus, maybe Unicorn. I mean, they're fine, but the other ones, you have Mermaid, you eventually have this one. They're just too good. So again, definitely agree with that one. You got to force some of these top decks to take different routes, different paths, different lines. Because, when it's just this consistent and this broken, that's definitely understandable. Then we have some more Bird of, I'm not even going to try. With these long words, I'll leave it at that. I'll let Vengeful. There we go. Vengeful's good at that. As you guys can see, this card of Shekels is free. You have hundreds of copies here. So is this one that people should be maybe considering, getting some exposure at $1 and some change, maybe a place that just add to their band collection or band binder, investment binder?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's safe to say. Again, this is one of the cards you mentioned, like that get hit, and then they hit the problem card, and then they forget about this guy. So he's just been sitting here ever since the barrier statue was still around. Barrier statue's gone. This card's gone still. The only thing that let people to summon off is Apex Avion, which is very good, but not worth banning the other Smorg. So
there you go. Yeah, and the key that I look at this card, I mean, Vengeful did an amazing job explaining the fundamentals, but technically speaking, if you see the chart, there's not too much to say because the card is banned. But technically speaking, in the sense that it's a single print. It's a single print.
One print.
Single print in Duel Overload. What do you guys think if this thing gets online? It doesn't matter if it'll be good, if it'll be played. The fact that it's hard to get single print and that people speculate, what if I could play this and what if I could do that? I just need the card just to have it.
Out of arguably the best set.
There you go. There you go. Duel Overload,
or
guys.
Best reprint set.
So again, a lot of these cards are still single print. If you would trickle down here, and actually, the next card we're going to talk about is Anaconda. To get on this note, let us play this broken card. Why not? I mean, it's not like there's not any other broken links out there. You know what I mean? But this is kind of broken. I remember this card just as generic as it. You used to see people play this card and you felt you lost. You felt you lost. It's like, just game 2. So let's hear it. Why did people lose back then? Should this come back? What's your take on this one?
Me and my buddy had like a Kaiju FTK where we'd Kaiju them, drop a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, pop it, and kill him with some other stuff. So I just want to play that again. So just let me.
Yeah.
You could trust us.
Yeah.
But Anaconda, and not everyone's going to play the Garnets the same. I think the majority of decks that would play this are literally like Primite builds. We saw a Primite build top that was like literally Red Eyes Fusion Dragoon with like Dragon's Bind, so that's kind of cool. So I think like niche decks will play it. I just don't think we're gonna see every single meta deck like Ryziel and Malice and stuff. Half them can't. I don't think they're gonna be able to even fit enough cards in their main deck and then the extra deck to dedicate into the Anaconda. And I don't think like math would even like let them do it. Like
you just don't think it'll be like as generic as before, right?
Power creep.
There you go.
Creep.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, great take. It's a card that used to be broken, and still would be broken if it comes back. But maybe the genericness just it's gone from the card in that sense. If it would be coming back, so we'll see. Cards like these, people don't mind if they stay on the list. And this is not to say that we expect it, but it's always fun to speculate because you just never know. And then is this the one that is on the list? Is this the one or the other one?
Yeah, the Link one.
Okay, so this is the one, the Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo. It's about time. Yeah, I mean, again, why is this still on the list? I mean, with all the craziness that's going on in Yu-Gi-Oh right now and the top, broken meta decks, I mean, this little cat with the dog right there can't come back? Well, what do you think about this one? I think it should come back at this point. You know, I think it's been too long for this little cat to be on the list. What do you think?
Bro, I forgot the card was on the freaking list.
You see?
Like, that's
you see?
wild.
Yeah, that's when you
That's
forget that a card is on the list, is because it shouldn't be
I
there.
literally went and checked like, real quick. I went and
Yeah,
checked.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
Just to
on the
double
list.
check.
Yeah.
You see, it's like, why, man? It's like, you know, poor Prank Kids players, man. The deck was good when it was good, but that was a while ago. So let him off the list.
Yeah.
Let the cat off the list.
It's like the
man.
beginning of Lynx.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on now. So there we go. And then here we have one. Look, I'm gonna let you save the name and take this card over, like if you're on your channel.
All right, Wind Up Carriers and Mighty can definitely come off the list as long as we hit the Hunter. I'll be honest, you would have to ban Hunter. That's just kind of the asterisk there because you don't want a hand loop, all right? But I think there could be some potential for some link ability after you summon, but this deck is not going to be doing anything. A lot of it was only reliant because of the loops that were happening with the hand with the Hunter, or you would pop the field with the Insectors, go into this and start doing a wind-up combo. We're not going to see that happening the exact same way. Might I add, when this card was happening, we didn't even have a Ash Blossom. The only hand traps in Yu-Gi-Oh! Were effect failures. So, okay, now, like, that's what I mean, is like, a lot of these old cards, we literally didn't even have hand traps anymore. So, like, that's why they come off the list. Like, I mean, I can't even explain how long Magician of Faith was on the ban list, and then it came off, and everyone lost their minds.
Yeah. Oh my.
It might as well be banned still. Like, yeah, but they wait too long. Konami waits too long.
There we go. Yeah.
So the only reason they keep this ban is they have support coming out that they know would be broken with it. But I mean, I kind of think they just hate this card.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have always speculated on this card just coming off. Because again, most of these previous broken cards have been power crept. Not to say that, you know, under the right circumstance, some of those can't come off and actually impact maybe the current format or a future format, but for the most part, and again, we're not saying that these cards should come back to 3. You know, again, just off. You know, if they're banned, put it to 1. You know, test the waters, just see what happens. So basically calculated risk for this one. So I agree with Vengeful. It'd be nice to see this card at least at 1. Then we have Reasoning. This one actually came out in Rarity Collection Uno. This card is still around 5 bones, as you can see. Based on the charts, used to be 4s, went up all the way to 8s, given that 2x, and now has been in a downtrend ever since, making new local lows back to 550s, it says on the charts. But yeah, you have a 1 of here at 495, and then it quickly reclaims 6s, guys. So, and then 7s at the bottom of the page, 5 pages only, 43 listings, because people forget. People play this in GOAT format. They play this in a Reasoning Gate. I mean, when you have a deck that is called the brown card, you know, that's the name of the deck is Reasoning Gate. So I mean, nothing much else to say. But yeah. So what do you think about this one?
I've been hoping this card comes off the list. It's literally a juggle between Reasoning and Monster Gate at this point, because both are at 1. And then for a while, we literally didn't even have Grass is Greener. And then you look over at the OCG, and they have 3 Reasoning, 3 Monster Gate, and I don't even know how many Grass they have. I'm pretty sure it's 3/3 for
That's
both. Okay?
crazy.
And then so over here, nah, bro, you just got 1 Reasoning, 1 Monster Gate. Finally got Grass is Greener. By the way, power crept, so they don't get played. So there we go. Reasoning could definitely go up, I believe. I definitely believe it could go to 2 or 3. Just rip it at 3 if you're gonna do it. Rip off the Band-Aid. And the majority of this is to support the Infernoid archetype that they gave support to not too long ago, but
so true.
Has not even been played because the support cards are at 1 over here in the TCG, and that's why you see it.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I
Reasoning
agree.
or Monster Gate or both to 3 TCG would be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean,
and
that's
then the
an
price of this
excellent-
would go way up.
That's an excellent point, because they did give support to Infernoids. And then, but the support
didn't
cards,
matter.
like Vengeful said, I mean, why not, man? Just give it more of a shot. You know, the cards were broken. It's just by themselves, they don't do much. You know, you need an engine. You need things to start flowing. And these cards would do so. And then you also have the previous format implications as well. So this is a good one to pick up at around 5 bones. Don't let it be double digits on you. Don't do that.
It
Don't-
will go up. There's
See?
always a time Reasoning will be broken, even if you have to thrust that thing. Okay.
There we go. There we go. And then we have Infernity Archfiend. Shout out to Saki. You know, Vengeful said,
Saki.
you know, the Saki, that's his boy, my boy. You know, we all Gucci out here. And again, he said that Saki highlighted to him the potential of this card and why he should be picking it up. Again, Infernity Archfiend came in Bonanza just recently. It's one of those cards that comes in a Bonanza, and there's so many cards in that reprint set that people forget about cards like these. And again, you go to the yearly, came out at 7s, it says 396s, but we're really at around 4s. Anything sub $5 for the long term for these quarter centuries, I believe is good. 19 listings only. You do have the Platinum Secret as a very budget option that is V-shape recovering. So just overall, get exposure to this card. So why should people be looking at this one?
Okay, so this is definitely a bigger one. A lot of cards in this reprint set are a little slept on, and a lot of that is because I think that they think it's like they were deemed as nostalgic pool cards, okay? And I think that was very misleading by Konami, okay? Because I believe, like, I know E-Dragons themselves were put in the bracket, but I believe were the babies considered
I don't know. It's confusing. There's some cards like Swap Frog. Swap Frog is a nostalgia card, but it has all the rarities, which I'm not mad at, but then it's just confusing, like identifying, you know, like.
Yes, exactly. So I know that this one seems like a nostalgic, like all the ones like that, like the nostalgias were the ones that only had the 2 printings.
Yes,
a lot of them.
correct.
So Archfiend was considered nostalgia.
Yes.
Even though like in the formats we have out right now, unless you're doing hats, like Archfiend's not playable pretty much. So I don't know where they're coming up with that. I don't know. It's just weird. So I do believe, but this goes into the tangent, that a lot of these cards that they printed, especially in the latest a quarter century set, okay, which was the Bonanza and then potentially Stampede, are cards that will be receiving support in the future, okay? And Elemental Dragons did just that, okay? So we saw E-Dragons, they put it randomly, and, you know, they finally brought it back, put them past 1, put them in the set, and then literally right afterwards we get support for it. And then I thought there was another archetype in there as well. Blue Eyes, yeah, literally, like we had all the support for Blue Eyes. They're in there. There's support for, I believe, like another archetype that was in there as well. So we see them kind of slow dripping archetype support that like has been previously put into some of these sets. And I believe Archfiend for Infernities is another one. And then we even talked about with the implications on the ban list as well with the launcher. So I think there's kind of two for the Infernity Archfiend, whether it's the support or the ban list. And yeah, I see you got the launcher on there. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah, it goes hand in hand with that
like
one.
he said, we got the launcher on deck. Like he just mentioned, these are 2 cards that you want to be paying attention to. This is a beautiful Duelist Saga reprint. I love Duelist Saga prints. You have the super rare OGs and only a Duelist Saga one that it's at around 3s and some change. You do have a massive wall of China, but again, essentially $10 for a playset of this card, not bad. Definitely make those considerations for this deck archetype. And a lot of people like Infernities too. They've been forgotten.
Oh, it's a fan favorite.
You know, in a sense, recently, obviously, but recently getting these reprints, you know, again, definitely you should keep, you know, these cards in mind to get exposure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a hard once per turn either for old Infernities. They were actually like kind of, in my opinion, like because I played back then, like they were the introduction to modern Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, like we had E-Dragons, we had Infernities, we had stuff like that. Okay, they're kind of like the introduction to like what modern Yu-Gi-Oh is now, and a lot of stuff wasn't once per turn. That's why they hit everything. But right. I think that's why if it would come back, or if we see Launcher come back, or if we see support come to the archetype, Archfiend itself, which again, shout out Saki with the pricing, but it makes a lot of sense why $5 is almost exceedingly cheap, because a lot of these decks would play potentially 3 given what the support would be, because they're not hard ones per turn. So.
Excellent take, as you guys can see. And lastly, just take it over, because we have the turtle here. Why should this card got reprinted in the recent retro pack reprints? Clean super rare at quarters. What are the shenanigans with this one?
Yeah, okay, so there's Catapult Turtle, and I honestly like didn't have it in my last ban list video, and I kind of forgot about it. Someone commented, I was like, oh my god, okay, so there's apparently a combo coming out with the Photons, and you can, or the Galaxy deck, where you can go into a monster with flat out 8,000 attack, launch it with the Catapult Turtle, and just kill them for a game, okay? So, yeah, whatever the damage you need, the Catapult Turtle can apparently one-shot it, and they can somehow cheat out the turtle easily. So again, I mean, this isn't something I've specifically seen, but this is something that has been catching enough attention that this card has been hit in other formats, if I'm correct, and then just been like kind of on everyone's wish list up until now. And then I mean, I've seen other YouTubers just kind of make meme like posts about it and stuff like that, like, oh, is Konami not addressing this? So
Yeah.
Catapult Turtle is something we definitely had to talk about at least.
There you go. Is that damn turtle that you need to pay attention to, guys.
Yep.
As you can see, we have rabbits and turtles, and we just have it on Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. So you definitely want to make those considerations just in case. Again, speculating. We're just speculating here. It doesn't hurt. If you have a speculative vibe, you can come in here and get these at around quarters, man. $1 a play set around there, so not bad at all, just in case those shenanigans do pan out. So guys, again, we made it to the end of the video. We kept you guys here almost an hour and a half, essentially a movie, you know, and every time we bring Vengeful over, it's just more of the same. Why? Because he just has so much great things to say about, in this case, the ban list, and the previous video was about previous formats and even modern Yu-Gi-Oh! On how to beat Blue Eyes, as you can see over here on his channel. So if you made it this far out into the video, come on now, you have to make sure you click the link in the description down below and make sure you sub to our guy Vengeful Shadows, as you can see here. Great channel, guys. Make sure you don't miss out. And yeah, any last words, you know, that you have to say for this beautiful community that we have here?
Hey, thank you so much for letting me come on and, you know, just rant about a bunch of cardboard that we all love and are addicted to, honestly.
Yes, sir.
And again, you know, if you guys want some cheap cards or want to know how to beat the meta or just some top 10 cards, definitely come check out the content, drop the sub. But hey, as always, just get cards for the cheap, and no matter what, just keep enjoying the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what really matters.
There we go. My guy Vengeful couldn't have said it any better. Make sure you guys are subscribed, guys. Make sure you show some love. Why not? The channel continues to grow. Amazing content as always. We want to show that love and support to our fellow content creators, so you guys already know. All right. Always a pleasure having you on. Look forward to the next time. And guys, thank you so much for your time, for your support, and for your attention. Make sure you guys stay fresh.